Everyone loves a good underdog story. Today, we are going to look at some David versus Goliath moments in basketball. Ronnie Porter stands at only 5'2", but she plays like she's 6'12". Her ability to score is up there with the top dogs. In this game, she played against 5-star guard KK Arnold, who is now a freshman at UConn. Not only did Ronnie drop 30, but she secured the dub. Eli Ellis and Team Loaded NC matched up with the world's tallest teenager, Olivier Ryu. But there was one catch to this game. Eli Ellis had to sit out due to an injury that occurred the night before. So with Eli with a bad ankle, Team Loaded NC had to face the world's tallest teenager without their star player. After falling behind by over 15 points in the first half, Eli, being the competitor he is, does not believe in load management. He hopped out there near the end of the first half, and what happens next just adds to Eli's storied high school career. Eli ended up dropping 25 points and 7 assists. Mind you, that's only in the second half. And of course, Team Loaded NC won the game, 73-58. But Olivier did not go down without a fight. At only 5'2", Darnell Rogers defied every odd against him. Considering the average height of a D1 basketball player is 6'5", Darnell made a huge splash on both college and high school levels. In his junior season of high school, he averaged over 28 points, 6.9 assists, and 5.1 steals per game. He was the shortest Division I player in the country, and then shortly after became the shortest scholarship Division I men's player in history. His senior year of college at UMBC, he averaged 12 points and 3.6 assists. Isaiah Thomas is the poster boy for David versus Goliath. The average height in the NBA is 6'6", and being only 5'9", Isaiah left his mark. This man defied all odds and had some crazy good years in the NBA. People forget, one year he averaged 28.9 points per game for the Boston Celtics. And shout out AW Productions, they got him dropping 81 points. Tavon Jones has to be the most underrated player in all of EYBL. A fun fact, 92% of guys who have played 17U on EYBL have gone D1. Up until May of this year, Jones still hadn't received not even a D3 offer. Luckily, HBCU Miles College gave him his first scholarship, and since then, he has been offered by multiple schools. At 5'7", Tavon was able to average 9 points, and he dropped 4 dimes against the best high schoolers in the country. Josiah Johnson was born without legs, but that does not stop him from doing what he loves. Josiah is a middle schooler in Kentucky, and he competed and he did his best. In return, he made the Moore Middle School team. When he got his chance to get on the court, not only did he perform, he had a nice crossover and he locked up on defense. Julian Newman versus IMG is the definition of David versus Goliath. Unfortunately, this story didn't end in David's triumph. Julian had a really tough time. This team had Jarace Walker, Mark Williams, Moussa Diabaté, and somebody named Zach Edey. I don't know, maybe one of the best college players in all of basketball. And the list goes on. Julian's prodigy prep team ended up losing by almost 60 points, and a chair was thrown. Tariq Gilbert and Boston Celtics Jason Tatum had an epic battle back in 2015. Tariq dropped 32 and Tatum had a 40 ball. Sadly, Tariq did not walk away with a win, but he showed that he was not gonna back down from anyone, not even a future NBA All-Star. Daan Ruffin is only 5'9", but his high school career was extraordinary. As a senior, he averaged over 33 points, and he was named McDonald's All-American. In these clips, he's going against Scotty Barnes and Vernon Carey. And as you can see, he's all gas and no brakes. Daan Ruffin was an elite scorer. He was easily one of the best bucket getters in the 2021 class. Shareef Cooper was one of the most electrifying players in the last decade. His ability to win at all levels in high school basketball was insane. He was listed at 6'1", but that could be giving him an inch. As a junior, he led McEachern to a 32-0 record while averaging 27 points and over 8 assists. 5'9" point guard Robert Martin took on Amani Bates with Jason Tatum in attendance. Martin led Brad Beal Elite to a 76-71 win over the number 1 ranked Amani and Bates fundamentals. His story is still being written, but 4'9" Devin D1 Cobbert put on a show at the In the Gym's hoop camp. He may not be the tallest, but he's got the most heart. That heart has him ranked nationally in the top 25 scouts of the 2027 class. When Fred Cleveland was a sophomore, he was only 5'6", but he could play with the best of them. By the time he was a senior, he averaged 21 points and 6 assists per game. Tyler Harris has always had that dog in him. As a senior, at just 5'9", he averaged 30 points and 6.1 assists per game. He finished his career as one of just 12 players in Memphis high school history to score more than 2,500 points. And nowadays, he's cooking for the USF Bulls, where he led them in scoring and assists. Marquise Noel was probably the most exciting story in all of March Madness this past spring. Mr. New York City was quoted saying he uses his height as fuel, motivation to prove people wrong. His run with Kansas State showed why he was different, and I think he can make a real career in the league. It seems as if Toronto Raptors are going to give him a chance. Deante Jefferson is still one of my favorite players I've ever filmed to this day. The 5'7" point guard out of Milwaukee was always on go. And no matter the competition he was going up against, he proved that he belonged there. Whether that was on the Adidas circuit or a top 100 camp that included Devin Booker, Karl Towns, and more. Shout out Trey Jeff. Chris Likes is a guard out of Maryland. He was a starter as a freshman in high school and never looked back. At only 5'6", by the time he was a senior, he averaged 17.6 points per game. South Carolina commit Tessa Johnson faced off versus 6'3" Iowa State commit Audie Crooks. Crooks is a mismatch for anyone, and at times she got the best of Johnson. But Johnson did not back down. She ended up dropping 33 and secured the North Tartan dub. Chase Adams blew up after his Ball is Life video got 16 million views on YouTube. At the time, he was only 4'11" and was always the smallest player on the court. He didn't let height be his excuse. Luckily, he gained about 9 more inches, and now he's 5'8". Still undersized, but he can give anyone buckets.